Duncan and the Old Mine. It was summer on the island of Sodor. Duncan loved this time of year. Today, he was especially excited. He was going to take a party of holidaymakers to see Coldy Caves. But Mr. Percival, the Thing Controller, had some bad news. Mr. Percival told Duncan and Rusty to bring coal down from the mine in the hills. Duncan was very disappointed. He wanted to go to the caves. Pulling coal trucks wasn't an exciting job at all. As Duncan was puffing slowly to the mine, he noticed an old line branching off into the trees and bushes. Duncan pushed his way through the barrier. Rusty was coming down the hill with trucks full of coal. He stopped when he saw Duncan. But Duncan didn't want to pull coal trucks anymore. All he could think about was having an adventure. So he puffed further down the line. Duncan clattered along the old line. Finally, the line disappeared into the side of the mountain. It looked like the entrance to an old mine. And he puffed inside. Duncan was too excited to think clearly. He puffed straight into a roof support, and suddenly the roof collapsed behind him. Duncan was trapped. Back at the transfer yards, Thomas was waiting. It was dark and lonely in the old mine. Duncan didn't like it at all. He looked up at the shafts of light. Duncan whistled as loudly as he could, but there was no reply. He tried again, even louder. But Rusty didn't hear Duncan's whistle. He was too far away. Duncan puffed slowly forward. Inch by inch, Duncan crept further into the mine. It was dark in the tunnel. It got darker and darker. Then, suddenly, he bumped into a set of buffers. Duncan could go no further. Now he was scared. Rusty arrived at the broken barrier. Soon, Rusty came to the collapsed entrance. Rusty was very worried. Duncan was still trapped. He puffed nervously backwards and forwards. He biffed into the buffers again. This time, he heard a squeaking noise. Duncan edged forward very slowly. He hit the buffers again and pushed them carefully. They moved, and as they moved, the wheels squeaked. Duncan hadn't hit buffers at all. He had run into some trucks. He pushed the trucks slowly forward along the track. Soon, he saw a light at the end of the tunnel, but the way out was boarded up. Then he had an idea. With all his puff, Duncan bashed the trucks and they crashed and smashed through the boards. Duncan was free. Rusty heard the crashing sound. He hurried on to see what it was. Soon he found Duncan. Rusty could hardly believe it. Duncan was pushing trucks full of coal. Duncan and Rusty raced the trucks down the mountain to Thomas. Duncan and Rusty pulled into the transfer yards. Thomas was very happy to see them, and so was Mr. Percival. Duncan told Mr. Percival all about his adventure. Duncan should not have broken through the barrier. Mr. Percival told Duncan he was very lucky. Rusty and Thomas agreed.